What's going on, beautiful people on the internet? Okay, so I've been heavily influenced. I can say for the first time in my life, the hype beast has finally snatched me by my collar, and I purchased a camera. Typically, I do a lot of research, and I've actually done a lot of research. So I ended up buying a Nikon ZR against what my timeline was going to be. Here's what it was going to be. I was going to buy the Nikon ZR eventually, but the next purchase was going to be whatever the FX6, the newer version of that, whatever that was going to be. That was the goal. I was going to wait for that camera, no matter how long it took. That was going to be the next camera I purchased. But just seeing so many videos and actually constantly wanting to see more and more Nikon ZR videos, like I was just, every moment of the day I had to figure out, oh, does anyone have a new Nikon ZR video out? So, I was like, you know what? Instead of driving myself crazy, like living through all these other people, just buy the camera, man. And so I ended up buying the camera. Now I don't have to watch so many freaking videos about the Nikon ZR, just wondering what the camera's like and looking at and enjoying the footage out of it. So that's honestly one of the reasons I ended up buying it now. The second one is, being that the Nikon ZR is out, it really has me looking at the red lineup quite a lot, simply because Nikon has put the Z mount on their red cameras now. So that kind of changes a lot for me. And not only did they put the Z mount on there, it's the fact that we have adapters now that we can take most of our lenses, not all of them, but most of our Sony lenses that you can use autofocus with, over to Red and Nikon now. And these mounts allow the camera to talk to the lenses, and you have really good autofocus. So that's one of the other reasons too. But the main reason is, I'm debating now. Sony, like, I'm shaky right now because Sony is like not potentially the camera I might buy. I'm strongly considering a red camera. And so what this Nikon ZR is going to do for me is help me understand, do I like the color science of the red RAW that much? And I understand this is a version of red RAW. This is not like their main version of red RAW. So again, this is a version. There's one that has way more dynamic range than this one. And that has me excited. But again, what this is going to help me do is, if I like the red RAW, is it worth giving up some of the features of a Sony, a newer FX6, right? And I'm trying to figure that out. And I'm not going to make a decision until the newest whatever Sony FX6 is going to be. I won't make that the final decision until then, unless Nikon and Red just come out with something that is absolutely ridiculous and it just blows me away. Then, okay, outside of that, I'm going to wait to make that decision. But again, the Nikon ZR is going to help me with that decision. If I dislike the Nikon ZR's color science that much, the red RAW that much, I'm willing to forgo all that other stuff, then it's going to be what it's going to be. But I want to make that determination way in advance before any of these newer cameras start coming out, because we all know they're coming. And that's the main reason. And the crazy thing is, some people may ask me, hey, why aren't you considering a Canon or Panasonic or Fuji or anything like that? Well, simply because I would have to buy into those systems, like legitimately uproot everything that I know as far as lenses and things like that. But with Nikon and their adapters, it kind of makes it easy. It makes it easy on the wallet, because eventually I can kind of transition into buying Nikon glass or more Z-mount specific glass. But for now, I don't have to worry about that. I can buy the brains of the camera or the body of the camera and be happily content with using all my Sony glass, because I have quite a few Sony glasses that I've spent a lot of time and hard-earned money accumulating. So it makes it easy, you know. So that's why I'm not considering all those other brands, even though they make great cameras. Nikon just made it easy. That's the whole point. And the Nikon ZR is going to help me determine what that next camera is going to be. And I'm just excited about the camera. Period. Now the goal, here's the goal. The goal is to use nothing but Red RAW. So if I use the camera and I make a YouTube video, just know I'm specifically always will be using Red RAW. Unless my camera can't handle it. And that's another thing that I want to determine. Can my computer handle Red RAW? If it can handle this version, maybe it can handle an even better version. And that's what I'm hoping. So like right now, I have a Blackmagic full frame camera. B-RAW is not a problem for my computer at all. I can edit B-RAW, color graded and all these things without a single proxy. And it plays back smoothly. Period. Like smoothly, which I'm kind of amazed by that. But, and I understand maybe B-RAW maybe not as taxing on a computer versus Red RAW. I'm not sure. But that's what I'm trying to determine as well. Because again, if I have to switch completely over to a different computer, if I want to get into Red, you have to strongly consider that. Then I'm not ready to buy a Red camera. So I want to make that determination as well. And again, I get the Nikon ZR is not a Red camera, but it's close. And I'm speaking of the codecs, you know what I mean? The Red RAW. But I get it. There's a totally different version of that. But damn, if it can handle that, then again, I'm going to strongly consider buying a Red camera. So yeah, that's my thought process right now. It's more of this Nikon ZR holds the future for me on and determines what's next. And I'm also wanting to switch over to DaVinci Resolve anyway, because I've had DaVinci Resolve for about 2 years now, or maybe about a year. No, yeah, about 2 years. I've had DaVinci Resolve for 2 years now, and I've used it a handful of times with my Blackmagic camera when I'm actually making videos with it. I like it, but it's difficult to use simply because I'm not used to it, period. I really like color grading on it. I find that very easy to do. It's just the other things, you know what I mean? Trying to figure, and it's more of like, where are things, you know what I mean? The effects, the audio tools and things like that I have to get used to and accustomed to. So yeah, that's my thought process, man. I'm excited. Like, this Nikon ZR is gonna, it's gonna determine a lot. It's gonna determine if I stick with Sony or not, because I can take all my glass to Nikon now. Oh, you can for a while, but nothing from Nikon has interested me, even though Nikon has been making some great cameras. And they were just never on my radar. But now they are. And I'm excited, and I'm thankful that they are now. Because if Sony doesn't offer the things that I'm looking for, I have another option, you know what I mean? And that doesn't mean I have to abandon Sony. I think that's like the most important thing for me. Just because Sony doesn't offer something at this very moment that I'm interested in, Nikon gives me the option to not completely abandon Sony's ecosystem because of the adapter that allows you to take your lenses over to Nikon. Now, I don't know. Maybe eventually I will completely switch over to Nikon, but I just honestly don't see. There's too many benefits to owning a Sony camera that I see that is hard to compete with if you're Nikon. And again, maybe that will change over time as they again start to integrate Red into their Nikon system more and more. Maybe that will change because again, they have phase detect autofocus. Is it as good as Sony's? No, it's not. Sony is just on another level amongst up there with Canon. They're just on another level when it comes to autofocus at this time. and they've gotten darn good. But Nikon gives you that option now to not completely abandon Sony, like I just said, and continue to shoot with your Sony lenses. That's the most important thing for me. Okay, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.